say because you've been gracious, is this. When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy.
A Negro mother is gunned down in her own community, and the left, well, they have nothing to say about it. Why, you ask? Well, because her killers are illegal aliens, and the left have nothing to say about it because, well, it's not convenient for them to do so. This episode is about that woman, Larisha Thompson, and how Democrats like Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett are enabling the left, and they're enabling illegals to take out people like Larisha Thompson. So, Negro women like Larisha is not safe in her own community because of failed policies by lawmakers like Jasmine Crockett. Hello, friend, and welcome to The Conservative Poet. My name is Amania. Here on the channel, we do political reactions, we do a little commentary, some parody to drive home the crazies that we're seeing in the society. If that is something that is interesting to you, then please stick around. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Tonight, 6 people, including teenagers, they're facing charges after a local mother was shot in her car. 40-year-old Larisha Thompson was shot and killed in her car off Riverside Road in Lancaster. The sheriff's office says the people arrested are tied to another crime as well, and because of their immigration status, they also now face deportation. WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre is in Lancaster with the latest developments.
Larisha Thompson's life ended in tragedy, gunned down while she was driving down the road. Tonight, 6 people between the ages of 13 and 21 years old facing murder charges in this case.
People like this have no place in our society, and we will do everything in our power to make sure the full weight of the law is brought down on these 6 individuals.
6 people, including 4 teenagers, are behind bars facing multiple charges. The Lancaster County Sheriff's Office says, first, the group tried and failed to break into a convenience store, damaging a bathroom door and shooting up the security cam. Days later, they say that group shot and killed 40-year-old Larisha Thompson.
Somebody lost their mom, their sister, aunt, mother. Just a tragedy. This person is out doing the same thing you and I do, just driving down the road, minding their own business.
The sheriff says Thompson was driving down Riverside Road on her way to meet friends when the group tried to rob her. He says 21-year-old Azael Torres Chirinos is the one who pulled the trigger, hitting Thompson, leaving her for dead in her car. Officials say none of the suspects are in the country legally and should not have had the gun.
They took the life of an innocent young lady, didn't have the right to be here, much less commit these crimes here.
Detainers have been placed on all 6. So if any of them were to become eligible for release, they would be taken into ICE custody. In Lancaster, Jesse Pierre, WCNC Charlotte.
This tragic murder of Larisha Thompson, a black mother from Lancaster, it's not just another statistic, but it is a deadly indictment to the policies that Democrats such as Jasmine Crockett put into law into these areas that just does not support or protect black women or black mothers. In that case, black America, period. While Jasmine Crockett tweets about protecting the undocumented, Larisha was shot to death in her car and left to die just miles away from her home. Her killers, 6 young Latino illegal boys who were on a rampage of doing crime. They committed multiple crimes within hours and days of each other. These are the people that Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett advocates for, that they should not be deported. They should have due process. They should be treated just like Americans. But here they are, killing Americans. Black women, and again, those who look like Jasmine Crockett. The question now becomes very simple. Whose life matters to Jasmine Crockett? Is it that of the Black sister? Or is it the illegal alien migrants who killed her? That is a question for Congressman Jasmine Crockett and the rest of the Democrats.
6 undocumented immigrants, including 3 minors, are facing charges tied to what started as an attempted robbery but ended with a South Carolina woman's death. Lancaster County officials say immigration authorities want them kept in the U.S. for now. South Carolina Bureau Chief Shakira Speaks has what the law says about deporting criminal suspects, especially juveniles.
6 undocumented immigrants police say are responsible for a robbery turned murder could be deported soon, and at least 3 of them are juveniles. Immigration attorney Carnell Johnson says he's been seeing an increase in detention centers with people who have and haven't been charged with a crime.
People like this have no place in our society, and we will do everything in our power to make sure the full weight of the law is brought down on these 6 individuals.
He's referring to 6 people now in custody. These 3 adults, ages 17 to 21, and 3 kids, ages 14 to 16, all connected to 2 crimes. They're accused in the attempted robbery of a Rock Hill woman that ended with her death. Officials say all 6 suspects are undocumented, with the Homeland Security Department placing detainers on them.
Historically, we place when ICE places on hold, if that person were to make bond or be released for whatever reason, they would take jurisdiction at that point. Of course, we have a new administration in now.
Solicitor Randy Newman says until he gets a call from Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, he will move forward with his state court prosecution of the suspects. Immigration attorney Carnell Johnson says the current administration has no authority in the removal process. Everyone has a right to due process.
Immigration removal proceedings for each immigrant can take years. I know for a fact that at the trial level, right before an immigration judge, that those proceedings can take 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Then the appeal after that can take another 2, 3, 4 years.
Research from Syracuse University shows more than 49,000 immigrants are being held in detention centers across the country. Just over 56% have criminal records, some with only minor offenses like traffic violations. Johnson says there are 2 criteria that immigration judges consider when issuing a bond for serious or violent crimes.
1 is the person a flight risk. And 2, the person is going to pose a risk or danger to the public. If you have serious violent crimes and they're pending, even though you're innocent to proven guilty.
Sheriff Fell wanted to ensure the community that despite the suspects being detained, it doesn't mean the federal government will come and send them out of the country before their cases are heard.
So you seen that and you heard that. So in a case like this, why is it that we are shacking them up in detention centers rather than packing them up, putting them on a plane, and dropping them off back into their country? Well, friends, it's because we have lawmakers like Jasmine Crockett who advocates for these people, these violent people that just took the life of a sister. You know, one that looks like her and one that looks like me. Yes, this is who they advocate for. They don't advocate for you and I. They advocate for these people, these killers who have come into this country and has hurt American women. Thank you, everyone who has been supporting the conservative poet. I owe you a debt of gratitude. And if you haven't supported the channel, you can do so now. We have new merch that you can purchase, candles, mugs, all kinds of great merch. Please visit theorlandopatriot.com and get yourself 30% off. Thank you so much. So the Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett has been very vocal and pushing back on President Trump's agenda and ICE agenda and removing illegal criminals from our country. She has been literally in coddle mode of these people. And so she has been going viral every time she opens her mouth with her foolishness and her craziness. Maybe that is what she wants. So it has been happening. So she is constantly moving the needle to say, look, I am all for illegals and I am not for American citizens. So we're going to take a couple of clips of Miss Jasmine Crockett stating her opinions, stating her stance when it comes to who do you really support. Obviously, she doesn't support Black women like Larissa Thompson, who was just murdered by the hands of 6 illegal immigrants.
Have to go through this kind of political theater because listen, we all know what it is. That's why they hired everybody from Fox News, because all they trying to do is put on for a show. This is not the Apprentice show. This is supposed to be about the American people, and I want us to start to refocus our attention on the American people and stop demonizing every daggone person that ends up in custody of ICE, because they are not necessarily demons just because ICE decided to round them up. So thank you for your testimony.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It's not a criminal. It's a crime. It's not a crime, which is why they're so frustrated, because they really want our local law enforcement to go out and round up people when they could be looking out for the murderers and the sexual abusers as well as the robbers. They want them to go and round people up on civil accusations.
If you are sending your kids to college to go and work on them, okay, well, guess who is working the farms? So that you can afford your food.
So that you can have food.
So that you can have food. Now, how many of you are looking to send your kids into hospitality after this college education so that they can go and make the beds at the hotels? How many of you are planning to send your kids to college? Because that's what we do here. We send everybody to college. How many of you are planning to send your kids to college so that they can then go and build these houses? So the reality is that so long as we live in a capitalist society, there's always going to be someone or a group of people that will do work that some of the rest of y'all don't want to do. These are the people that are really making us great in this country.
According to the great Congresswoman, the gentle Congresswoman from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, in that last clipping there, we need the illegals to make sure that we will be able to have food to eat so that they can go out in the fields and pick our foods, that they can make our beds work at the hotels and make our hospitalities, make it nice for us at the hotels. These are the reasons that we need the illegals. But what she fails to mention is that having some of these people here is detrimental to the lives of we, the American people. They are literally killing us. We have our own murderous people here in this country. We don't need more. And as for picking our own food and picking our own and making our own beds, Jasmine Crockett, I think we, the American people, could figure out how to do that without bringing in millions and millions of illegals for our own comfort. You racist woman, you. So, one question remains at this point. Who failed Larisha Thompson? Was it Democrat and the Democrat policies, such as defunding the police, such as open borders, such as bringing in millions and millions and millions of people unvetted and undocumented? Who failed Larissa? Is it people like Jasmine Crockett? Is it people like Kamala Harris? Is it people like Joe Biden? Is it people like all of the Democrat Party? Well, we have to lay blame at the footing of someone. And my friends, that is not at the footing of Donald Trump. You see, friends, the left, Jasmine Crockett and them, they literally celebrate the dismantling of our institutions in this way. They don't want to have police to do their jobs. We have ICE which is an entertainment of our law enforcement that is here to do their job, and that is to remove illegal criminals from this interior. Illegals, however which way you want to call it, to remove them. But they are literally standing in the way of ICE doing their job. They have judges standing in the way of President Trump and the agenda getting passed through. They are literally, we have these woke judges who's literally in the way, not asking for us to bring in the illegals as opposed to removing them from the interior. That is who we're talking about, friends. These are the kinds of people, and these are the policies that has hurt this woman, Larisha Thompson. So at the end of the day, Democrats are to blame for her death. People like Jasmine Crockett is the ones to blame for her death. And so I'm curious to see how, again, Black people move in the coming midterms, to see how they vote when left, right, and center stories are coming out every day, just like Larisha Thompson's story, highlighting the failings of the Democrat Party to the Black people. So are they going to continue to vote at a 90% clip, 95% clip, like they normally do, voting Democrat no matter who, voting Democrat no matter what? Are we going to continue to see that pattern? Because the more we see that pattern, the more it's going to be detrimental for the Black community. Just like we're seeing with this. Look at what happened these last 4 years. Look at everything that's happened. And again, when rules are broken and rules aren't in place, the people that gets hurt the most is the poor. Because guess what? The rich, they can hire bodyguards. The rich can have security, just like Jasmine Crockett. She can carry around security. But Black folks, poor folks in these lower income areas, they don't have the luxury of hiring security. They depend on the police. They depend on law enforcement. So if law enforcement is being defunded, if law enforcement aren't able to do their jobs, if law enforcement such as ICE isn't able to remove illegals from the interior, people like Larisha is going to continue to drop dead daily from the hands of illegals. In closing, friends, I want to just give my condolences to Larisha Thompson and her family and her children that she has left behind. I want to say, we really need to look at our communities and the leaders that we are electing, because people like Jasmine Crockett is not representing people like Larisha Thompson. She is not representing these kinds of people. She's actually representing the people who has done harm to Larisha Thompson. So in closing, I just want to say that we need better leaders, and this coming midterm is going to be the opportunity to prove that you have really been paying attention, that you really have been opening up your eyes and seeing the writing on the wall, that the Democrat Party, it is over for them, because we can see now that they have no interest in what is best for we, the Black community, or we as Americans, period. So thank you for taking the time and joining me on this episode of The Conservative Poet. God bless you and keep you. Let's chat it up in the comments. Talk to me. What do you think about Jasmine Crockett and these policies? Do you think that they're good for Black people, or do you think that they're good for illegal criminals? Talk to me in the comments. I'll see you in another video.